y'all, what is up, and welcome back to the channel. For those who don't know me, hi, my name is Sierra and I'm so excited to have you here. And for those who have been here, who do know me, welcome back. I am so excited to have you guys here. So for today's Meetup Monday, I decided, you know what, I'm sorry I didn't post last week for Meetup Monday. Assignments. Gotta love assignments. I'm technically on holiday or on break for my American people for just 2 weeks. It's mid-semester, whatever break, and I have to get ahead. I'm actually going on an actual holiday to the beach here in 2 weeks or so, going down to Durban. And I will hopefully be vlogging that so you guys can check it out, potentially get an idea for a vacation site if you're interested. It is so much fun, so beautiful. If you're looking to swim in all the different oceans, I know it's a goal for some people. Go visit all 7 continents, go swim in, I think there's 5 oceans. Swim in all the oceans. Well, Indian Ocean can be checked off from there, and yeah, so hopefully that'll be fun. But I have to get ahead of my assignments, and which means I have an assignment due the Monday that I'm there, and I have 2 assignments due the Monday after I'm back, and just gotta get ahead, people. School is never ending at this point. It kind of gets me into this Meetup Monday. I've decided to talk about what to expect after high school. I know I kind of did some high school advice. I've done some college/university student advice. This is just kind of the rundown of what I've learned over the past, it's been 3.5 years, almost 4 years, of just what to expect, what I've learned in my life, what I've seen with my friends' lives. Everyone has a different path. So just kind of giving you some, a little bit of a heads up, some ideas of what you can expect after you graduate, and yeah. But before the video begins, please give it a huge thumbs up. Comment down below what other videos you would like to see, any advice you'd like me to give, any story time ideas you'd like for me to do. Those seem to be a hit. And go ahead and subscribe and turn on the post bell notifications so you are notified when I upload, and follow me on the social medias linked in the description, just so you can keep up with life if I can't post a video, or just more content beyond the twice a week videos. And yeah, so without further ado, let's just go ahead and hop on in. Life kind of feels planned not after high school. Life feels planned up to high school. You have school, you're living in your parents' household, things are just pretty much provided for you. The only thing that you're really figuring out is like who you are, your identity, and then also just activities that you like to do, whether you're passionate about dance or you're passionate about football or art or whatever, anything. You're kind of just figuring that out, but everything, like basic essentials and stuff, are provided for you, and there's kind of a set plan for the most part if you stick with school. Obviously is that about 12 years of your life? 12 or so years if you count pre-K and kindergarten and all that fun jazz. That's just kind of there. You know what's happening. You know that for the States people, from August to May, roughly, it changes September to June, whatever, that you're in school with a few breaks and all the fun jazz. For my South African people, you're in school from January with a break a month break in between. Usually it's in June or July, and then you're in school until October, November. And yeah, it's pretty set out. You know where you are, you know what's happening. This is kind of your life from now on until you graduate. Most people obviously are like, yes, we're going to college, we're continuing school, and that is absolutely great. I mean, I'm doing that. I know majority of my friends have done that as well, but that just might not be the path for everyone. Like I said, you might not want to jump into school immediately like I did. You might want to wait some time Because that jump, especially if you're having to pay for school on your own, is a bit hectic. I mean, you can make money in high school, you can have a job in high school or a couple of jobs. I mean, I had a couple because I was homeschooled, but ultimately, like, money is not the most abundant thing in high school. And most of the time, you're spending money on hanging out with friends, going to the movies, eating out, meeting for coffee, all of that fun jazz. If you have a car, you're paying for gas, and so you're not necessarily saving up the most money for school. So you kind of have a couple of options. You can either go to school directly. It's probably the best if your parents are paying for you. Just hop on in, get in there, because I know some people, once they're out of school, they're done. Like, there's no going back. So if you're one of those people, I would just recommend going to school. There's the temporary break from school and then starting school. Whether that be gap year and a half, maybe even 2 years, like just taking the time to work as however many jobs that you feel you can handle, and plan your schedule accordingly. And just saving up money, spending your time where you are, and just making sure that you are comfortable, and then moving into school. And it also gives you time to figure out what exactly you want to do. I know that there's a lot of my friends who have changed their majors a couple of times, and sometimes there's the consequence of having to pay for an extra course or a couple of extra courses because you didn't take those when you were doing the other major. And so it just kind of gives you that space of figuring out what exactly are you passionate about, what can you make a career out of, what do you see yourself doing, especially as you're maturing over that year or 2 years and testing out different jobs. So it's a good opportunity. And the last one is just don't go back to school. Sounds absolutely crazy, but I know colleges are so expensive. And yes, I know I've heard in the long run, like, you can make higher salary, get into higher positions if you have a degree under your belt. But most likely now, you're having to go for your master's and you're having to go for your doctorate just because it's so common for everyone to do the 4-year degree and get their bachelor's and be done. And ultimately, there's the other option that what you're passionate about, whether it be, you could be passionate about fashion, you could be passionate about business, you could be passionate about law, law you have to go to school. There are some things that you have to go to school for. But for stuff like fashion, for stuff like art or dance and stuff like that, and sport, if you want to just focus on that, feel free to focus on that and grow yourself in that. I mean, for sport, you're more likely to get noticed if you're on a school team. But there are just some things that you can, if you take the initiative, if you pray about it, you have God on your side, you can get internships in businesses and you can work your way up into those higher positions, especially with the loyalty factor, which school can offer you a higher degree, but you might not necessarily have that bond that someone who's worked in the company would have, even if they don't have a degree. It just depends on what the company is looking for. So there is the option of, like, you figure out what you want to do and you work your way up in it, and it's not a bad option. Takes a little bit of work, especially trying to figure out almost relatively quickly what you want to do, and just hopping in. And you're gonna have rejection no matter which direction you're gonna go in. There's going to be rejection. You're going to get rejected from schools if you're going directly into school. You're going to be rejected from even part-time jobs. I applied to Starbucks 3 different times. I still have not heard back. It was 2 times when I was in high school. It was 1 time towards the end of high school, 1 time in my gap year and a half, and then 1 time when I was here. And I have previous barista experience, but Starbucks doesn't really want me, but it's fine. I still drink their coffee. And then you're gonna face rejection from big companies, especially starting out. And it's just about being in prayer, listening to what God has for you, seeing where He's taking you and what doors He's gonna open and what doors He's not necessarily going to. And it's just, as you get out of high school, honestly, it's just a hit or miss which sounds terrible. It's kind of hit or miss of whichever way you go. You just gotta keep getting up and trying to hit again, and keep getting up and try hit again, and ultimately God's gonna lead you where he wants you, and that's what you have to kind of trust in. Now that's as far as I can get you. I've been looking for part-time jobs while in school, and I have to, but I can't give you beyond college. I cannot give you beyond university. In the next couple years, hey, look for those videos, because I will hopefully have some kind of idea with what's to come with that and the journey to come with that. For those who just don't go to school at all, I didn't take that path, and I know people who have been very successful in it, didn't go to school and worked their way up, and they're doing amazing things. And for them it was just about endurance and making sure that earlier on you're gonna get the I don't want to say trashy, not in the sense of like it's tacky, it's just the lower end jobs that you're like, do I really need to do this? But it ultimately prepares you as you work your way up, and it shows people, hey, I can do my best in the small stupid things, and I can do my best in the big tasks that you give me, and they can trust you in whatever task they give you. It's about variety. Like, what variety of jobs can you do? And are you willing to do whatever it takes to grow in the company? So just stick with it. That's the only advice I think I can give, is just stick with it. For people in school, stick with it. Not necessarily stick with your major. If you're feeling like you're called to something else, switch it up, but stick with school until you finish the race. If this is my position, enjoy that gap year, because school is great and you learn so much, but honestly I kind of miss just working, even though it was a little tiring at times. I do miss working. I miss having financial freedom. I worked 3 jobs. I had plenty of disposable income, but I feel like with that, it didn't necessarily have an end to it. Like, if this is the 3 jobs I'm doing, there was not really a goal. I didn't really want to work my way up in Jim and Nick's to be a manager, and there was nowhere really I could have become a supervisor in the childcare I worked for. And then nannying, you're just nannying until the kids don't need you anymore. And that's all great. But I feel like there's really no goal to my life, which sounds terrible. But I feel like for my purpose, where God was calling me, that was just to get a means. To work 3 jobs is to get the money and save up the money for school. And yes, I developed relationships along the way, and those were fantastic. But the end goal is being equipped for ministry and whatever God has called me to do in that. So just kind of stick with it. All 3 options, stick with it. If you feel like college is not your vibe, it's okay to drop out. Honestly, you can figure out your path. College is not the set all, be all kind of situation. It is whatever you make of it, and yeah, ultimately, it's up to you. Like, you're an adult now. Adulting is hard. Adulting is amazing, it's freeing, but it's so hard at times. And you just gotta work your way through it. You're gonna grow up, and that's kind of it, But having goals, getting into your career, and just doing the best that you can where you are is the best thing that I can advise you to do. I hope that was somewhat insightful. I know when I got out of high school, I was like, yeah, college. I said to go to school, and then that didn't happen. Financially, it just did not happen. And, at first it was kind of a downside, and really it was hard. But to see where God was leading me, and looking back, even though it was hard, I was like, okay, I see God's not necessarily having me there. and God did work it out in the end. And my goal was to be debt-free in school, and I can see God is slowly answering that. And yeah, you know what? Get out there, do your thing. You don't have to go to school in the States or whatever country you're in. Get out there. Go visit other countries. Enjoy life. And just experience it as much as you can before you have kids. That's the only thing I can advise for you there as well. I'm pre-kid situation. Young adult, pre-kid. And, you know, everyone tells you, once you have kids, your life is kind of dead for a while. And I'm like, cool, so I should enjoy travel, I should enjoy school, and just enjoy the freedom of just getting out there and not having a responsibility to another human life. But yeah, I hope this was all insightful. I hope this kind of gives you a little insight into what you can look forward to after high school, some options that you could start looking into. And if you have any questions, I'm going to try my best. Please leave them down below. DM me on Instagram, and I will try my best to answer them to the best of my knowledge. But that is all for this Meetup Monday video. Again, I hope you enjoyed this. Please, if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what videos you'd like to see, any questions. Subscribe, follow me on the social medias. And yeah, that was a lot. I'm sorry. But that is all, and I will see you guys in Friday's video. Bye, guys.